welcome to DH Newsroom. Today we'll be discussing about the Union Budget, which was earlier presented by Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. The budget in quick numbers: the total budget size is 53.5 lakh crore. The capex is 12.21 lakh crore. The fiscal deficit has been projected to be kept at 4.3%. That's 0.1% below the existing one, and the debt to GDP ratio is pegged at 55.6%. With me to discuss this, I have two of my colleagues, Mahesh Kulkarni and Gyanendra Kesari. Gyanendra, if I would come to you first, what is your overall impression about the budget?
See, this budget looks, first thing I could see is the finance minister focus is not on headline grabbing announcement. So there is no big announcement on tax giveaways or any major projects, and also it has avoided anything major political. Mind you, there are several assembly elections scheduled this year, but she has avoided that also. So there is I can call it a pragmatic budget presented in the backdrop of geopolitical tensions. So you have what is there. You have a threat on from the US tariffs. So our exports, there is much pressure on that, and then our currency and stock markets, they are under pressure. So she has tried to announce measures which can help in bringing foreign capital. So and capital where you can create jobs also.
All right, Gyanendra, you're calling it a pragmatic budget. If I were to come to you, Mahesh, what's your initial opinion about the budget?
I think the budget is the finance minister is largely focused on how to weather the storm coming from the geopolitical pressures like the tariff that the Trump government imposed. Trying to weather that storm, preparing our Indian corporates, Indian industries, especially the MSMEs, and the textile sector. Finance ministers tried to address those concerns more than giving headlines to or giving large sops to either the states going to polls later this year or to even the common man as far as tax perspective is concerned.
Okay.
There was a general expectation that although much of the taxation proposals were announced last year, this year there was an expectation that government will announce some measures for people to migrate to new tax regime for the people who are in the old tax regime. I was expecting that there could be some announcement to incentivize people to migrate to only one taxation system in the country.
Okay.
So I was expecting something on that front. That did not happen. And there is no big sops to even the voters from the election point of view. I think
fine.
budget is little disappointing on that ground.
Oh, okay. You're okay. From a common person's perspective, especially in election going states, it might be, Mahesh thinks it's a disappointment. Gyanendra, if I could come to you, the stock markets have had not the best of run today. At the end of the day, it's Nifty has gone down by about 2%. Do you think the stock market has reacted to the way the budget has been presented? Is it a good parameter to actually look at?
See, if you see the stock market movement during the budget speech, in the morning it was nearly, when the speech started, it was range bound. It was at 200, 300% lower, and then it was
Okay.
But after the announcement of this securities transaction tax, it bent down sharply, and it has closed, as you mentioned, it around 2% lower.
Yeah.
Clear impact is because of the increase in securities transaction tax. Stock market is all about, it runs on sentiments. So anything bad which is seen for the market, it is going to have a very negative impact. So we saw it was it's majorly because of what the STT has been announced. The
Yes.
percentage on futures and options have been increased, and this has resulted in major sell-off. Other than
Sell.
there is a big sell-off in banking stocks. SBI
Mhm.
banks have increased, fallen sharply. So this could also be there were expectation on support to banks, and then the finance minister has announced setting up a committee to look into those things, reforms so called. But it could be also restructuring and lowering down their expenses. So that might also have spooked the investors.
Okay, Gyanendra. Mahesh, could you tell what the budget has for Karnataka in it?
So I don't see anything specific, any major proposals for Karnataka announced directly taking the name of Karnataka that they will do something here. But some of the proposals, I guess, there will be some impact on Karnataka, especially on the commodities front that the finance minister announced on coconut and cashew farmers. So
Okay.
I guess Karnataka will be a major beneficiary because Karnataka is one of the top producers of coconut and cashew. So I believe
Okay.
those farmers will definitely get a benefit out of it. And
Okay.
other thing is the five hubs for medical tourism involving the private sector that the finance minister announced. I guess Bangalore
Yes.
should stand to gain from that because Bangalore is already a medical tourism hub in the country. It's a number one city for
Okay.
medical tourism. I guess Bangalore should get a benefit out of that. And on the semiconductor mission, uh,
Okay.
Bangalore and Karnataka should stand to gain something, although we don't know the fine print now. There could be something on that.
Okay.
And on the animation and gaming that Sitharaman talked about,
Yes.
setting up those content creator labs in 15,000 schools in the country. So I
Yes.
guess there will be something in Karnataka out of 15,000. I'm sure some will come to Karnataka definitely. So from that point of view, I hope there will be something. Besides
And two of the seven high-speed railway
high-speed railway
corridors are between.
corridors, I think two or three are connected to Karnataka again.
There's a Chennai to Bengaluru and a Bengaluru to Hyderabad.
Yes, yes. So that Karnataka will stand to gain. And on the
Okay.
MSME front, also, I guess Karnataka will stand to gain something from this.
So, given this, how would you see Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar's statement that there is no benefit for Karnataka in the budget?
As I said, they were expecting some specific names or, there is one specific demand I recall for many years that Karnataka
Mm.
should get a new All India Institute of Medical Sciences to be set up in Karnataka, either in Bangalore or in Raichur in Karnataka. There is no mention of that. The government in the last few years, increased medical colleges, especially the AIMS in various states. Karnataka is yet to get one of those. So something
All
specific to
right.
that, probably he has talked about that there is no mention of Karnataka or any Karnataka cities anywhere in the budget.
All right. Gyanendra, the debt to GDP ratio currently is at 55.6, and the government has projected or has said that by 2030-31, it plans to keep it at 50 plus or minus 1%. Can you explain what is the significance of this?
See, a significant portion of government's budget goes on repaying debt. So a part
Okay.
of it is interest. So there
Okay.
has been a need to reduce debt. Debt means yes, this is in a perspective you see as a proportion of GDP, because our in absolute term the debt will continue to rise. This year also the absolute term debt will be higher than last year, but as a percentage of GDP, the target is to reduce it.
Okay.
It will go down marginally this year, and gradually it has to come down to 50%. So from around 56% to 50%, 6 percentage points decline. This essentially
Yes.
means that government will gradually cut its debt, and that will be good for the economy. This is basically about this is showing the financial discipline of the government, that you have to cut taking lower you take lower loans to so that in the future you utilize your capital better. You won't be required to pay
You
too
can
much.
you can use your capital better in other sectors, productive, utilization
Yes,
of your
you will
capital,
not be required to deploy your capital for interest payment. Rather, you can use it
interest payment.
for, say, infrastructure development and creating other assets instead of paying it
Other assets. Yes,
as
I just thought that was an
interest.
important part. Mahesh, if I could come to you, what is the announcements with regard to the MSME sector and the new economies?
So the announcement today is very significant for MSMEs, which they were waiting for quite some time. One is there is a dedicated SME growth fund that the finance minister announced, involving with a outlay of 10,000 crores. So that is a very
Okay.
significant announcement. And also another 2,000 crore rupees that the government is going to spend, distribute to MSMEs through the Self-Reliant India Fund. So
Okay.
these are very significant announcements for the MSMEs. I think they will
Okay.
help them prepare for meeting the challenges emerging from the global situation, geopolitical situations. So making them what they call Atmanirbharta, making them self-reliant, it will help MSMEs to address some of those concerns through this dedicated fund.
Before winding up, I just have one last question to the both of you. First, I'll ask Yanendra, and then I'll come to you, Mahesh. Yanendra, if you could just explain in simple terms what's in this budget for the common person.
See, for the common man, the biggest expectation every year has been what is there in the taxes. One is
Okay.
direct taxes and indirect taxes, both. So, what becomes cheaper and more expensive, and how much taxes I am going to save. So both these announcements were made last year. So there is nothing much so far as the tax slabs are concerned. So there is no extra saving, I would say. But there is some procedural changes, like deadline to file revised ITR has been extended to. It is proposed to be extended to March 31st. Usually it is December end. So this will give
Yeah.
relief in case you make some mistakes, and you can revise it, you can file it again. And there are
Okay.
other
Okay.
procedural changes which can I mean, reduce litigation. So that is the only thing.
Okay.
Even in indirect taxes, there is nothing much new. I think, yeah, for the common perspective, especially the
All
tax
right.
perspective, there is nothing much.
Okay. I get it. Okay. Mahesh, the last word to you. What's in it for the common person in the budget?
Common person, there is nothing directly, as I said, from the income tax perspective, how the budget will put extra money into the pockets of the common man. There is nothing talked about
Oh,
that.
okay.
Okay, how I will get more savings, or how I will get more money to spend for my family, or how
Okay.
much I will save. So there is nothing from that perspective. There is nothing announced for them. There is
Okay.
nothing on the front, how to simplify the life of a common man, to make his
Okay.
daily life better. I don't see anything on that. So overall, I feel there is no
feel-good factor of the budget, like we saw last year, the personal taxation announcements that came last year, that created a big feel-good factor. So this year, I don't see any such, factor emerging out of the budget this year.
All right. Okay. So there isn't a feel-good this is not a feel-good budget. It's actually not directly benefiting the common person. The government would like to actually make us believe that this is a long-term vision. I'll just read out a tweet which the opposition leader of the Congress actually put. He said, "The Reform Express rarely stops at any reform junction." Expectedly, the Congress is critical of the budget. For all the views and developments on this, stay tuned to DeccanHerald.com. Our extensive budget coverage can be accessed on our website, www.DeccanHerald.com. The YouTube channel is Deccan Herald. If you've not subscribed, you can consider subscribing it. Press the bell icon so that the next time a video drops, you will be notified. Until then, thank you.